Martin Rieser is a water sommelier.
A lot, you will get the whole experience of that water.
Water. Not vintage wine, not single malt whiskey. Water. The stuff that falls from the sky for free. The stuff that covers 70% of the planet. This industry has turned basic biological survival into a luxury sport and a glass of tap water into a status symbol. And yes, we've reached that point in civilization where hydration isn't enough. We now need a curated experience, of course. Today we're talking about how late-stage capitalism decided to gentrify thirst. Why restaurants are charging $50 for a bottle of melted ice.
Differently than a water harvested in the Black Forest in Germany. And water is the universal solvent.
And why humanity apparently cannot drink a glass of liquid without being told it has velvety mouthfeel. Now this started like any other pretension. First, they came for the coffee, then for the craft beer. And tasting notes, integrate brewing methods, guys with beard explaining, boom, all this idea exploded overnight. Escalation to this situation was the water sommelier, which is a person in a tuxedo whose entire job is to convince you that your glass of water lacks structure. These are real certifications, remember, you've got real academies, you've got real menus. They treat a substance that literally flushes out toilet like it's a vintage Bordeaux. They don't just serve it to you, no. They interpret it. They talk about water with the same hushed reverence usually reserved for religious artifacts. And you know what's the worst part about all of this? People are nodding along.
We'll drink our water at home. I was like, all right, suit yourself.
What? They're actually sitting in fine dining establishments and they listen to a man explain that the water from this specific Slovenian spring pairs better with the halibut. That's humanity, everybody. If you also want to see a bit of creativity writing at its peak, don't go to a library, go to a water bar. The menus read like a bad fantasy novel. You aren't buying your normal bottle of water, you are buying glacier runoff harvested under a warning gibbous moon. You're buying virgin rain, untouched by modern civilization. And that is priced between $20 and $50. Oh, even $100 for one bottle. And it relies on the concept of purity, which scientifically just means doesn't contain anything. And this sells as a premium feature. They describe the source like it's a vacation destination you can't afford. It's sourced from the depths of volcanic aquifer. Ideally, water shouldn't taste like a volcano, let me tell you. It should taste like water. That's it. But when you're charging rent prices for a drink, you can't just say, it's wet. You have to sell this journey. Then when luxury wasn't enough, they had to make it tech. Enter hydrogen water. The pitch is incredibly stupid though. Water, it's H2O. You've got 2 hydrogens and 1 oxygen. But apparently that ratio is for losers. So they force an extra hydrogen gas into the water. They literally pump it up. They claim
The health claims from these bogus companies are also massively outpacing the rate of research, saying things like it can cure rheumatoid arthritis and give energy similar to a coffee.
well, it reduces inflammation, cures aging, it gives you the energy of a 20-year-old, yada. The reality though, hydrogen is a gas. It wants to be free. The second you crack open that $5 aluminium pouch,
to take the top off and drink it immediately. If you don't, then the hydrogen just goes off and it evaporates into the air and you don't get the health benefit.
which looks like a Capri Sun for billionaires, the magic will immediately escape into the atmosphere. You're trying to drink a gas. It is the beverage equivalent of trying to hold a fart in a colander. But this biohacking community loves it. They sip these metallic pouches on podcasts and they talk about cellular optimization, completely ignoring that they are essentially drinking expensive burps. Then there is another side of this. Let's call it spectrum. The people who think that filtration is a conspiracy.
Each time I drank fresh, living spring water, a surge of energy and peacefulness entered my being.
This is the raw water trend. People that are paying $60 for a glass jug of unfiltered spring water that turns green if you leave it in the sun. Ugh. They claim it has beneficial probiotics. Don't listen to that. Doctors call those parasites. Yeah, That is peak of first world boredom. We spent centuries inventing plumbing and water treatment to stop dying of dysentery. And now, rich people are paying a premium to undo human progress because they want their hydration to feel more ancestral. You know what was ancestral?
Never is king!
30 from drinking downstream of a mammoth herd. That was ancestral. Let's just say you don't care about health or luxury. You just want to look cool. I got you. You got liquid death. It's water in a tall boy can with a skull on it. The marketing strategy is actually quite simple. What if we made drinking water look like a shotgunning a beer? It's actually genius. Did you realize that fragile masculinity was an untapped market for hydration? Men just want to hold a dainty plastic bottle. No, they want to crush aluminium. It's the same water. It's Austrian mountain water, sure, but it's just water. But you're actually buying the ability to stay hydrated at the concert without looking you care about your health. It's capitalism realizing that if you dress wellness up as heavy metal, you can sell it to people who hate wellness actually. Then, if you look at the economics of this, here's where the math stopped mathing. The margins of luxury water will make iPhone look like a charity product. If you're paying for the glass, the shipping, and the audacity, most of these brands are selling you the placebo effect. They put standard water in a heavy, minimalistic bottle, they slap a sans serif font on it, and suddenly it tastes crisp. No, it doesn't. Your kidneys are not gonna know the difference. You aren't paying for hydration. You're paying for the exclusion. You're paying for the privilege of saying you didn't drink the free stuff. It's a status symbol that you are going to pee out in 20 minutes or more. The dinosaur in the room here, here's the reality check with this industry that is being ignored. The water cycle is a closed loop. The water that is in $100 bottle is the same water that a T-Rex peed in 65 million years ago. It's the same water that rained on the Romans, and it's the same water that's currently dripping from your bathroom tap. Nature recycles everything. We're all drinking billions of years of old recycled fluid. If you slap a label on it and it says prehistoric aquifer, it's not recycled dinosaur pee anymore. It's vintage. It's a masterclass in reframing. They've taken the most abundant resource on Earth and convinced us that it's scarce. In the end, luxury water trend is late-stage capitalism which is eating its own tail. We have run out of things to commodify, so we decided to circle back to the basics. This is boredom disguised as sophistication. This water sommelier isn't selling you taste. They're selling the feeling of being better than the tap. They're selling this illusion that you can buy your way out of being a biological organism that just needs moisture to survive. So next time you see a water menu or a bottle that costs more than your lunch, take a sip of your tap water and just laugh. Somewhere out there, someone is swirling a glass of melted ice and pretending it has a finish. And the joke, as always, writes itself.
Yeah.